I think you're mistaken. John is a very reliable person. I was surprised by her words. I never thought someone would speak of me in such a way. The woman's name is Emily. So please keep up the good work, she said, smiling broadly at me. Before meeting her, I had been spending my days in this unpopular shop, feeling unmotivated. My name is John. I'm the hired manager of this shop, which even today is so quiet you could hear a pin drop. It's so boring. The shop I'm in charge of is a bakery chain, and it's one that's been running at a loss for years. I was assigned to this failing shop for a reason. To put it simply, it was like being exiled. Moreover, I ended up here because of my female boss's harassment. Oh, the bread isn't selling at all today, is it? I heard her irritating voice. She's Susan, the area manager of this district. She spread all sorts of bad rumors about me to HR, and that's how I ended up in this nearly bankrupt bakery. Hello, good to see you. It's always like this lately. The end of this shop might be just around the corner. She snickered. If you want, I could pull some strings and get you switched to managing another shop. For some reason, she leaned in and asked me this. As if I'd want that. It's fine, I just have to turn this shop around. Oh, do you think it's that easy? I mean, I couldn't come up with a retort to her words. Well then, good luck. She smirked condescendingly and left the shop. Don't ever come back again, I muttered to myself. Indeed, I needed some sort of secret plan to revive this failing shop. Without spending too much money, is there a way to really captivate the customers? Just as I was thinking this, Emily appeared. Excuse me, I saw a help wanted sign in front of the shop. Could you hire me? Huh? That happened while I was sweeping in front of the shop. A cute young girl approached me. She looked to be in her early 20s. She was a girl with beautiful eyes and curly hair that reached her shoulders, giving her a charming look. Her gaze was fixed on the help wanted poster at the entrance of the shop. Even though the shop was running at a loss, we were always short on staff. But it had been tough finding part-timers, so her offer was timely. Are you interested in an interview? That's great. Do you have a resume with you? No, I just saw the poster outside and thought I'd like to work here on a whim. Sorry for being so spontaneous. By the way, what did you like about this shop? It's always clean, the interior is tidy, and of course, the bread is the best part. We don't get many customers, so we have plenty of time to clean. That's why I'm always doing it. I chuckled at her words. But it gets busy around lunchtime, so I'd be happy if you could work during those hours. Oh, if you'd like. We have forms for resumes in the office. Do you want to fill one out? Really? Can I? Her face lit up. Sure, and could I take your photo with my cell phone for the ID? Yes, please. Thank you. Then, once you're done with the resume and photo, let's have the interview. Okay. Her happy response lifted my spirits too. And that's how she was hired as a part-time female employee. Little did I know that this would bring unexpected good fortune. Welcome, Emily. You're looking cute with that smile today, too. Oh, please stop it. That's not true. Emily, good job on working hard today, too. Thank you, as always. Honestly, I was amazed by the new employee Emily's work ethic. Her handmade name tag, prominently displaying the large name Emily, said always smiling, always happy, and the regular customers were already calling her Emily. It hadn't been 3 days since she learned the cash register, and she already had regulars. And these customers were coming to the shop daily, specifically for her. Amazing. They say there's a knack for customer service, and she definitely had it. John, we're out of sausage bread, so could you make some more? Sure, got it. Plus, ever since she arrived, The bread sales have been doing well. Hiring just one employee had such a significant impact on sales, which was something I hadn't experienced in my years in this industry. Thinking I've hired a real golden egg, I asked the kitchen staff to bake more bread. Murray, it's been busy lately. That's right. The staff, in a good mood after hearing my instructions, started making the requested bread. John, it's less crowded now, so I'll go sweep outside. At Emily, thanks, I appreciate it. Her quick wit and initiative are impressive. She always thinks ahead, understanding what needs to be done and takes action without being asked. Back when I was a student working part-time jobs, I was always the complete opposite, constantly waiting for instructions. While admiring her promise for the future, I often wondered why she was working so hard every day. Then, one day, something caught my eye. Is this okay? I became concerned looking at Emily's schedule. I knew she was a college student working to earn her living expenses, but this seemed like too much. Despite being a college student, she was working over 8 hours a day at the shop, even on weekdays. Can she even manage her college work with this schedule? Then Emily came into the office for a late lunch. Hugh, I'm totally exhausted, but working here might be the most fun I've ever had. Saying that, she flopped down into a chair. I spoke to her. You're working this much, are you okay? Can you keep up with your college credits? Yes, I'm attending night school, that's why I can work a lot during the day. So you work here and then go to school, isn't that really tough? Well, it's tough if you think of it that way, but my brother did the same. I guess that means Emily's brother also worked part-time while attending night school, just like her. Our dad isn't around, and attending a regular college was a bit tough for us, but in these times, it's hard to find a job right after high school, so our mom suggested we go to night school or correspondence school. That's why my brother and I are working during the day and going to college in the evening. I see. Wait, does that mean? Something clicked in my mind as I heard her story. Does your part-time salary here go towards? Yes, it's for my tuition and my family's living expenses. I see, that makes sense. She lives a life completely different from mine. I was impressed by Emily's words. Wow, really? That's admirable. No, it's just normal for us. She looked at me with a puzzled expression in response to my words. It was as if she was thinking, what is this person talking about? Rather, I think you have it tougher, John, managing this struggling shop and all. I'm just doing my job, can't help it. Well, I'm just working here to make ends meet. There's nothing remarkable about that. I see. Her perspective made sense to me. Surely, for her, that's just the norm. But I do praise myself sometimes for doing well, otherwise, I couldn't keep going. She smiled sadly. Looking at her, I realized that despite being younger than me, she was shouldering a lot. Then, a few days later, an incident occurred. Oh, what's with this young girl? Hey, Susan. Susan had come to the shop and started picking on Emily. Even though she's supposedly an area manager, it's really rude to call a part-time female employee a young girl. Emily, taken aback, stared at Susan. But then, she smiled and said to Susan, "Welcome, you must be Susan, the area manager. I've heard about you from John." Wow, quite the professional response. I heard you recently joined and come from a challenging home environment. No father around. Must be tough being in a single-parent household. But you know, we're kind enough to employ you, so you don't end up on the streets. Be grateful. What was that statement? I was furious at Susan's condescending words. It's one thing to belittle me, but I can't stand her insulting my employee. Susan, that's no way to talk. It's disrespectful to a part-time female employee. As I defended her, Emily looked at Susan and firmly said, "John hired me. I'm not employed by you, who don't mind using disrespectful words towards a part-time employee, even though working in customer service. Wait, Emily. John, could you please be quiet for a moment? I tried to intervene, but she turned to me with a smile. Seeing her smile, I was rendered speechless. I felt a strong sense of authority from her. Listen, it's not like John, who was demoted to this loss-making store, is the one paying you. That's not true. John is a very reliable person. Besides, I get my salary from the company, which ultimately comes from the money paid by customers. I'm not being paid by you. I was surprised by her words. I never imagined she could be so assertive, always being so cheerful. You, acting all high and mighty for a part-timer. I could easily have a word with HR and get your evaluation dropped. Susan was red with anger. Then Emily looked out the window and said, "Ah, looks like Grandpa's here." A fancy black car had pulled up outside the shop. And seeing the person who got out of the car, I was so surprised that my mouth hung open, unable to close. The person who walked through the shop's door was none other than Mr. Anderson, the president of our company. What is Mr. Anderson here? Even Susan seemed panicked by this. Emily then spoke to Mr. Anderson. Geez, I had no idea Grandpa managed this store. If I'd known, I wouldn't have applied. What's wrong with working for me? Don't you like it? Well, Grandpa, you always come to check on me and my brother like this. It makes it hard to work. You must be John. Emily always talks about you. Thank you for taking care of my granddaughter. Mr. Anderson said. Wait, Emily is Mr. Anderson's granddaughter. Susan was staring at Mr. Anderson, turning pale. No way. I thought she was from a poor single-parent family. Emily spoke up, looking embarrassed. He's my maternal grandfather. I kept my father's surname after he passed away. Then the night school story. Well, you know, there are many people in the world who work and attend such schools. Our mother believes in not relying on our grandparents and doing things ourselves. They watch over us as we strive to do our best. I can't believe you're Mr. Anderson's granddaughter. Susan was pale as a ghost. As Emily said, correspondence and night schools are simply institutions open for working people. It seems that Susan even harbored prejudices against such places that are frequented by those people. So you're unhappy that my granddaughter attends night school? No, not at all. I think she's a commendable young lady, working hard at her job and studies for her mother. Susan forced a smile and gave a sycophantic laugh to Mr. Anderson. Seeing this, I couldn't help but burst out laughing. What's so funny? Oh, nothing. Just, remember this. She spat out. You're an area manager, yet you speak to your junior colleague in such a manner. Mr. Anderson couldn't overlook Susan's inappropriate behavior as a supervisor. Her already pale face turned even paler. Mr. Anderson then said to her, I've heard a lot about you from the employees. I wanted to see if it was true. I stopped by the store today, but it seems the rumors might be true. No, that's a misunderstanding, Mr. Anderson. Regardless, I'll be letting HR know about an area manager who verbally abuses the manager and part-timers. No, please. Susan slumped in defeat. Seeing this, I applauded Mr. Anderson and his granddaughter Emily from the bottom of my heart. After that, Susan was removed from her position as area manager and demoted, now tasked with managing a failing store in the countryside. She was told not to return to headquarters until she turns that store around. As for me, it's busy again today. John, keep up the good work. Since Emily joined, the shop has been bustling every day. Now, we're making enough sales to offset years of losses. It's incredible. So many customers today. It's all thanks to your hard work, John. Emily said with a smile. No, it's all because you came. I said with a smile, and she blushed shyly. Oh, no, that's not true. Seeing her work hard every day, I realized I couldn't stay down about being transferred here and started doing promotions, flyer distribution, and posting. As usual, the customers who came to the shop were happy with Emily's smile. Today, in the lively bakery, her cheerful voice can be heard. "Welcome,